It's over to you.
Thank you very much. Good to see that people are still awake. Um, I'm just going to talk about. My name is Francois Wolmarans from the University of Johannesburg. You've heard there. There you go. Okay. You've heard the vendor spiel. Unfortunately, we don't have all the money to afford all these nice toys. So what we've done is we're using open source a lot. Just give you the vulnerability scanning that we look at. So, says computers for and networks applications for weakness, etc. UJ has over 200 systems across 4 campuses. We also run a federated system, so not all systems fall under central IT. Engineering runs their own stuff, computer science runs their own stuff, etc., etc. Lack of central management, patching, different levels of technical skills. The library has got zero, although they run their own systems. Accountability. Who is accountable for these systems that are run on the UJ network that students have access to? And then the bane of my existence, the auditors, come once a year, charge us a lot of money, and give us about 6 months worth of work. So, why run your own vulnerability scanning service? Being proactive prevents security issues, uh, major audit findings, so that you can concentrate on fixing smaller amount or having less work to do when the auditors come, as well as securing your systems. Internal accountability. We don't have access to computer science systems. They will never let us have access. We can scan their systems, pick up vulnerabilities, let them know so that they can fix it. We also assess new services before deployment. Sometimes the vendors implement systems not according to best practice or standards, and that highlights it. We also test against our desired configuration management. If a system runs port 80 stuff, if this will pick it up as well. And then this ongoing assessment of your system against new threats. Okay, so because we don't have money, we use OpenVAS. It's a vulnerability scanner, gets updated quite frequently in terms of the NVTs, etc. Couple of reasons why we use OpenVAS. Cost, it's free except for the VM that you will be running it, the technical person that needs to implement it and maintain it. At this stage, it gives us about 80% of what we need. To this will probably go down a little bit as the threat assessments from the commercial vendors become more sophisticated, where this will not be able to keep up. There's a public feed of network vulnerability tests. So as new patches from Microsoft come out, these take about a month and a half to be worked into the system. So when you test against those, it will actually check those as well. The cons, the reports are huge, containing logs, detection results, etc. You need technical people to actually run these systems, sometimes to interpret the results as well, and not as comprehensive as the commercial solutions. Just the general architecture, basically you've got a scanner, you've got a web interface running it, you've got your NETs that get put into the database, and that scans your targets. What it also allows you to do is to have multiple scanners on your network. So if you've got different campuses, you can move those scanners to those campuses, and they will report back to the central service. Just going to skip that. So this is a typical report. We just do it per /24 subnet that we run. Gives you last date, the vulnerability, and then if you look at the trend, whether it's up or down on there, it will also give you the number of systems on there. So let's give you one of our 10s. So we've got an internal Dobe Connect that we use for testing, which has not been patched in a while. So you'll see it will pick it up as a high threat level 10. We also have from the people that do the academic teaching, they use Max. They upload all their stuff onto the web service via OpenDAV, and as you know, the Mac puts these Xfinder files everywhere. Okay. So we don't have access to that system for the Xfinder files, but we do pick it up. If you drill into those issues, it will actually tell you what version of the software that you're running that it picked up, what the fix is for that, and you'll see on this one we're running 9.2.1. The fixed version is 9.5.2. So all of those features are built in, and as the patches get released, these get updated as well. On the other vulnerability, it actually gives you the fix for Apache. If you look at the solution, it gives you the fix for Apache to put into the config file to fix this vulnerability. So for the non-technical person on the other side, we can give them this little script, they put it into the Apache config, and it's done. So this makes the fixing of the issues much easier as well. Custom reporting, like I said, the reports are huge, which does become an issue. What we found is all reporting tools evolve till they become Excel. Okay, so we process the NBE files. You can export the results in different formats: CSV, NBE, LaTeX if you really want to mess around with it. We merge them. We've got macros that run, strips out all the stuff that we don't need, then creates an CSV that we import into Excel to give the actual reporting. So our normal report's about 8,300 lines, and then within a couple of about an hour, it gets a result of maybe 150 lines that we can actually work through. So this is the type of reporting that we pull out of the cleaned up results. We do a monthly report for everyone with the level of threats, etc., etc. Then we've got a detailed one that we give to the system owners. Okay, so it'll give you the machine name, what port is running on. Then we've also got the responsible person within IT or within the department who is responsible for that. We've also got the security warning, what it is, and then the description for that. But we've also built in, if you look on the left-hand side, is we now report on whether the findings been outstanding for 1, 2, or 3 months. This allows us to start escalating the issues if it is not fixed within those domains. Going forward, like I said, we're deploying a scanner now per campus. It is CPU bound, so the more CPUs you throw at it, the quicker it will scan, or the more hosts it will scan at each at a time. It also does put some strain on your network interface of your VM, and if you've got HRDs running on your systems, they'll pop up and scream at you at that. We're also looking at integrating it with our BI instead of running it through our Excel process. We'll import it into the BI, clean it up, and report from there. We'll also be working on when a new vulnerability is picked up on the system, run it into our Microsoft Service Manager. It will log the ticket for the relevant person, assign it to their name, and then we can keep track of it that way as well, so there's no manual intervention. Yes, have you fixed it? No, you haven't fixed it. Okay. Thank you very much. I think we made up some time. So if there are questions, or if you want to clarify something or anything. Sure. Okay, so from when we started to getting the reports as it is now, because the person that does the reporting and the Excel scripting for us, it's not his full-time job. It's about three or 4 months. So we did it because we didn't really know what we wanted when we started in terms of reporting. It sort of evolved into this solution. So if you put someone on a full time, you can probably do it in 3 or 4 days to get the reporting right. It's not that complex. What we did find though is our first audit after we implemented OpenVAS was 100 times better than the previous ones. So it does help. Like I said, it doesn't pick up everything, but it does help with first line troubleshooting. And because it's open source, you can also give this to some of your lesser technical or junior technical staff, so they can start learning about security. So when they get into the position where you've trained them up, it's not okay. I can only work on a commercial solution. I don't know how this works. Okay, so the false positives, it's very low percentage at this stage. I think we got about a 3 or 4%. Once you've got the system up and running, and the raw data, it sits in a SQL-like database, you can directly query it, or like I said, we do the NVE export. But non-technical people, once the process is automated, it's very easy. So what we've done now is the technical person that used to run it is not doing it anymore. The reports are now automated, and that goes to our security office. So there's no manual intervention whatsoever. So once you've automated, everything keeps working. It's fine. In terms of the NVT updates and stuff, that we've also scripted, bringing in everything once a week, imported into the database, and run it from there. We won't share it. We'll give it to you. So yeah, yes. Like I say, we we can help you. We can assist. If you want to find out more type of scans we do, what we've excluded, what we've whitelisted, what we found, you're more than welcome to actually contact me. If you want to have a Skype or a video session, we can schedule that as well. If you want to have us help you just do a pilot, we're also willing to actually do that. In terms of security, I mean, you just have to look what are the best practices out there. In terms of the OpenVAS skills and interpreting them, that's a more technical thing. So you're going to have technical people at the start that are interested in actually playing around with this. That's why I say is a good training ground for your junior security people. You can give them a system they can scan your dev and test environments, which the developers always use, and they can slowly build up those skills. Because to throw them in a deep end, it's not going to work. If there's people that want to. Okay, so after the third audit finding on the same system 3 years in a row, that sort of got elevated. We asked for money, they said no. So we looked at different open source freeware type stuff. OpenVAS at that stage was the only one that was actively being maintained in terms of the application, in terms of the NVTs, etc. So we just said, you know what, if we wait for money, it is never gonna happen. So let us work on this. We'll run it internally first, which we did on our dev and test environments, and then moved it over to the prod side. And like I said, since we've implemented this, repeat findings have gone away because now it's visible. And as new threats like with Poodle, etc., you pick that up after the NVTs were loaded. You could contact the system owners. So being proactive, when the auditors come, they run their commercial tools. Obviously, they will pick up stuff that this tool won't, but it'll be a lot less. And if you can show them that you proactively work during the year about threats, etc., audits will be much cleaner. And when it goes to your risk committee, they'll say, IT is being proactive. Checkbox. Sure. Okay, so at this stage, we've got a 8 gig machine with 8 cores. It's just a VM. Like I say, it is CPU bound because it runs all these scans in maps, etc. So we run about 16 scans simultaneously. So we worked out you need about one processor per two active scan tasks. So if you put a 64 processor box on it, you can probably run 128 host scan on it at the same time. We scan about 290 odd. But what we did is we can schedule these scans. So some of it we run Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays. So our dev and test environment, we scan everything at once. The production side we usually run on either Saturdays or Sundays, and we split that up as well so that we don't scan everything. Thank you.
Thank you. Give him a round of applause. So far, the most questions asked in one session. Well done. Okay.